Nothing shows media bias more than, of course, the election of Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, and the media's really complete lack of interest in vetting Obama as a candidate compared to what the media had done to, say, let's say, Sarah Palin, for instance, and now what they're doing to presidential candidate Scott Walker of Wisconsin, who is, of course, their governor. The Washington Post, a liberal media icon, has taken it upon themselves to investigate Scott Walker's college years, if you can even believe it, in a very biased, nitpicking piece of journalism on their website. The article starts out, Scott Walker was gone, dropped out, and in the spring of his senior year. In 1990, that news stunned his friends at Marquette University. Walker, the campus suit-wearing Republican-loving politico who enjoyed the place so much that he had run for a student body president, had left without graduating. To most of the class of 1990 and later to Wisconsin's political establishment, Walker's decision to quit college has been a lingering mystery. Big deal. So now let's compare that to an article in the Guardian, a UK paper of all places, because of course you can hardly find anything at all about Obama in the American media. And here's how that article started out. This is about Obama now. He has turned 18 in a few weeks. The afro he started at Pahu School had grown a bit fuller, but was under control. He was Barry Obama, freshman from Honolulu. The name, along with those of his two roommates, was typed on the index card that had been slotted into the door of room A104 of Haynes Hall Annex in preparation for his arrival. Maybe his face didn't look Hawaiian at first, thought Jeff Yamaguchi, who lived down the hall and whose family was from the islands, but it quickly became apparent that he had an easygoing attitude of a Hawaiian local. That mannerism and style and personality that is very uniquely and identifiable from tourists, a mentality you develop over time, just whatever. Now, okay, this is a typical drivel of media bias vetting that went on for Barack Obama pre-2008, and this article was written in May 2012, was more of a puff piece to assist him in getting reelected. But why didn't the media go after Obama and fully expose his college years like they're trying to do on Scott Walker? The Washington Post article on Scott Walker talks about how Walker would be late and start into French class, while his professor said he was interested in politics, but some said they never saw the same level of focus on schoolwork, and supposedly his fellow students, quote, tired of the daily disruptions, unquote, when Walker showed up late to class. I mean, honestly, how can the Washington Post even be taken seriously? They're trying to stir up something by pointing out that Walker was a pain in French class back 25 years ago, while completely ignoring Barack Obama or Barry Soetoro, his radical past influenced by a avowed communist, okay? Now, Barry Soetoro is the name Obama used when he was around 10 years old and went to a Muslim school in Indonesia. We don't hear anything about that at all. But here's some questions that I have, like, why did the liberal media ignore Obama's college records, and where are they now? And where are his kindergarten records, for that matter? And all of his school records are hidden for the most part. Why did the media ignore Obama's ties to convicted American terrorist Bill Ayers, and ignore Obama's international travel, and ignore how Obama paid for his college tuition and his private elementary and high school tuition? Where did his mom get all of that money to pay for this elite private education? And how did Obama pay for his college living expenses? And why did the liberal media ignore Obama's association with radical communists such as Jeremiah Wright, again, Bill Ayers and his wife Bernadine Dorn, Frank Marshall Davis, who was the subject of an FBI investigation that lasted 19 freaking years, Charles Ogletree, Democratic Socialist Quentin Young, convicted briber and fraudster Tony Rezko, and of course, George Soros, and on and on and on. Seriously, who exactly is this Barack Hussein Obama guy in the White House? Does anybody even care? Does anybody even know? Apparently, not enough of the right people care. Media bias at its best from the Washington Post.